All right, hi Dom, how you doing?
Doing great. How are you doing?
I'm pretty good. Wow. Okay. So who is Dom outside of Warp Vision?
So, I guess Dom outside of Warp Vision is really just a bunch of, I gotta really think hard. I still didn't think of anything creative, but I mean, photography takes up a mass majority of my life and has for quite some time. I would say I'm just a person who really sociable, really likes being out there and networking and helping out others.
All right, so as a photographer, what's your brand all about and how'd you get into photography?
So really, long story short, my brand with photography is just really capturing the essence of moments and making it into a visual expression. What I mean by that is I've always been known as a candid photographer, so I like to capture those moments in between, whether it be me taking 500 photos in one session just to capture one smile, or whether it be recording for an hour and a half just to capture a special moment that probably wouldn't have been captured in the first place. So I've been doing photography since I went over to USF, which is many moons ago, since before 2012. And I always loved taking photos at events and stuff, because I knew if you didn't take photos at events, it's like it almost didn't happen. And over the time and over the years, I learned that that's something I really became passionate about, and here I am today.
Here you are today. So, if I'm not mistaken, you fully transitioned into photography.
Yep, full-time photographer.
Full-time photographer. What were the last kind of couple weeks like transitioning into full-time photography? What made you think that you can make the leap, and what kind of put you over the edge?
I say it was crazy, honestly. It started off with a bunch of dreams, honestly. It's the most weirdest thing ever. I had dreams of me just walking up and leaving at work. And I mean, outside of daydreams, because everyone dreams about quitting their job. But it was just like, at nighttime, we just keep hitting every single day. And every single day I have dreams of shoots. Every single day I have dreams of just traveling. And then it just wasn't sitting well with me just sitting there. And I don't know if you're familiar with the 48 laws of power. But essentially in that book, it talks about how you can govern yourself above people and position yourself above power above other people. And that whole corporate world structure kind of just really doesn't sit well with me. I mean, honestly, you're just treated as a number no matter where you're going to be going. You could die today and then they'll find your replacement within 3 hours. And it's not like you're going to leave a mark with that company. All you're going to do is follow someone else's dream. You're never going to actually pursue your own within that own company. And not to mention, there's a whole bunch of pigeonholing within the corporate world as well. You can be the star employee, the best employee ever in a certain seat, but they don't ever want to promote you due to they don't want to find your replacement. So why put yourself in that kind of aspect? I mean, of course, some people thrive in corporate, but for me, I don't like to think that I'm going to be pigeonholed or put in that position. I feel like following my passion would be a little bit more stronger than to stick in that situation. So that's why I really felt up coming up to that moment. And I mean, probably the best quote, not to go running on, but I think this is a really powerful quote that my friend Javon told me recently when I met with him, was that cars, how old do you have to be to drive a car?
15.
Okay, you have to be 16 years old to get a learner's permit and 18-year-old to actually drive the car. So his daughter is 4 years old, and his daughter was driving with, well, he was driving, his daughter was in the passenger seat, and she's like, Dad, I want to drive the car. And he's like, unfortunately, you can't drive the car, you're not old enough, but isn't it a blessing that you're able to ride in the car along with me and we're able to travel from point A to B within a small amount of time? And she said, yeah, it is a blessing. So it's kind of funny that sometimes we have to wait for a certain amount of time to receive our blessings, because if we receive our blessings too early, either A, it might be dangerous for us, we're not prepared for the opportunity, or B, we wouldn't know what to do with it once we have it. So ever since he told me that, it's really been sticking to me, and I think that's what helped move the jump along.
With your timing, that's awesome. So that kind of brings me into, how long have you been doing photography? Let's say you just transitioned into part-time. How long before this were you doing photography?
So, like I said, in essence, I started doing photography when I was over at USF, but actually taking it seriously, I guess you really got to go from the start. So I used to make YouTube videos back when no one else was getting paid on YouTube, with just a select few. I was working with an agency, so I did like commercials for like The Voice, the new girl, and I was getting paid off of YouTube. And I upgraded my camera because I wanted to upgrade the quality that I had. It was an old Canon T3 Rebel camera, and I was doing videos for a while, but the loss was a little bit more than the profit, so we slowly just kind of died down off of that and started doing some less expensive videos. But as we grew older, we had to slowly start going our own ways, more or less. But I still had the camera, so I was like, why don't I just use it to make more money? So fast forwarding, long story short, I'd say about in 2016, February 2016, is when I made the stamp of, yeah, I'm gonna be doing photography services, go ahead and hire me, blase, blase. Of course, I thought a magical elephant was gonna ride by and give me a whole bunch of gigs, but that didn't work out like that. Had to learn how to use my assets of whether it be sales and customer service and slowly build up to where I am at today.
All right, awesome. All right, so along that journey, what's kind of the worst experience you've had being a photographer, or what is maybe a pet peeve of yours that someone did, or?
So I'd say probably the worst thing that I can come across is just communication overall, the whole communication aspect with your clients, whether it be a business or a customer. Just to name quite a few of them, well not quite a few, but quite a few nuisances that I would see is that either a person wouldn't understand how the process goes, they wouldn't understand how many photos they're supposed to receive, they wouldn't understand the editing process. The most common thing that I'll receive is, why can't I receive all the raw photos? And I get that more than enough. I actually explain that at least once a week of why you can't receive the raw photos. And I mean, see, I'm doing a deep sigh because of that. But from what I learned over time, it's just if communication is something that's going to reoccur and keep me in pain, then you need to be really upfront about it. But just to answer the reason why photographers don't like giving out the raw photos is it's not basically, when you search out for a photographer, you see their work on their website or on Instagram, you're like, man, that's an awesome photo. That is not the photo they got directly out of the camera. If an expert photographer actually took the photo, it's taken flat. That means everything is taken out. There's no Lightroom, there's no Photoshop, there's no color enhancements, there's no dodging burning. If you don't know what any of this means, it's a reason, because that's why you hired the photographer in the first place. So stop asking for all the raw photos.
All right, no raw photos. Okay, so what's a rookie mistake you made as a photographer? Did you ever give out raw photos yourself?
Oh,
Sounds
no.
like, okay.
No, that never happened. I knew better. Probably the rookiest mistake I ever had to this day, and I'll never forget, is I was doing an engagement shoot over in Sucking Gardens in St. Pete, and I live over by USF. I drove all the way down over there, and my camera wouldn't turn on. And I was like, why is my camera not turning on? And lo and behold, the battery grip wasn't all the way in, so I slammed it in. I was like, oh, I'm good. No, I'm not. I only have one battery, like literally 1 out of 4 batteries. So literally I took the first photo and the camera shut off. And I'm sitting there with the couple, and I'm trying to think, like, oh my God, like what can I do? Because I don't have any backup batteries or anything. And I'm in Tampa, this is St. Pete. So I was like, all right, guys. So it's like my camera has malfunctioned right now, so I'm just gonna go by the Best Buy real quick, and I'm gonna get a spare battery real quick to see if I can get my camera on and going. They're like, okay, sure, we can go with you. I was like, all right, sure, why not? So while I'm having a heart attack on the way to Best Buy, I finally get my battery, and then of course, Rookie Dom, once again, the batteries aren't going to be charged up in the package, but you bought a battery anyway. Threw it in there, was still dead. So the engagement shoot was supposed to be at 9:30. I know, driving home, which I had a battery on the charger. Came back, and it was about 3:30, and still took the photos and everything. Ended up doing their wedding, all that stuff. Unfortunately, it was a good couple, but I had a heart attack probably about 3 times that whole day. So. Definitely expert advice to anyone, whether it be photography or whatever you do, is always have a plan B and then have a plan C as well.
All right, wow, that's very helpful for someone. All right, what is a way that you would describe your brand in 7 words?
So, describing my brand in 7 words, I say it's capturing moments for today to last forever. Capturing moments for today to last forever. Come through with it.
All right.
Come through with it.
That's 7 words. You're right. All right. Well, thank you, Dom. Thanks for coming and interviewing with Enigma Enclave. I can't wait to work with you some more. This has been a great interview. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you.